Hello everyone, so today's look is a get ready with me. It's sort of like laid back and we're going to be doing this look together. So the skin is really soft and kind of dewy because I used quite a bit of some highlight, and just really easy with the duochrome pigment by Makeup Geek on the eyes. And yeah, I'm just going to go show you how to do this entire look. So I'm going to start off with the Smashbox primer. I'm applying this to prevent any sort of creasing or fading, which I do have to admit, by the end of the day, the pigment did fade quite a bit, but this does help prevent creasing with most of my shadows, so I do like that one. Then I'm using a sample of the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I'm wearing the shade number 125, and I'm just applying that with my fingers, and then as you'll see, I'm going to be blending it in with a beauty sponge. It looks exactly like the beauty blender. It's by Earth Therapeutics, and I got it at Kohl's for just a couple bucks on sale. So I do recommend that you dampen the brush or your sponge and then kind of wring out as much of the water as possible so that it blends the foundation in and also absorbs any excess product. Doing a first impressions for this sponge because I do really like it. I do feel like it's a really good one, and it's really cheap. I think it's $6 without the sale, and I think I got it for like four and change when it was on sale a few weeks back. So I do like that. I do recommend it so far. I really do enjoy it. For the brows, I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Ash Brown, and what I like to do is kind of fill in any bald spots that I have first with the pencil and just kind of lightly go over the whole brow. Not too heavy as far as like the pressure because I do go in with another product, but I just fill in my bald spots first with that because it just looks much more natural that way, and then I go in with a brow powder. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one in medium brown, and I'm using a Zoeva angled liner brush to apply that, and I do like this brush, and I used to use it for eyeliner, but now I'm using it for the brows, and it's freaking awesome. And I just sort of like fill in and use a spoolie to kind of blend everything as I go. Power of editing, I have done both brows, and now we're doing some brow gel, kind of tame these crazy wild hairs that I've got, and that's the Anastasia brow gel. Love that. And then I go through with a spoolie again, and just to kind of make sure everything is sort of laid down because I do have some crazy brows. Now time for some concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I wear the shade Light, and I'm using the pointed tip of that sponge that's still slightly damp to blend this in and kind of go around the brows just to kind of make sure that that area is nice and smooth and also very illuminated. I feel like it matches really well with the foundation they gave me at Sephora, the 125 by Makeup Forever, the HD. Then I'm going to be setting all of this with the under eye setting powder by e.l.f. Cosmetics. I got mine at I believe Walmart, and I'm using an e.l.f. brush. This is the, I think, blush brush that I'm using to set this. Love this brush. And then now for some bronzer, I'm going to use the Bahama Mama by TheBalm, and I'm using some new face brushes and eye brushes. This brush that I'm using right now is the Mikasa Beauty F100. It's like a big powder brush. So I'm using that to kind of bronze and then also apply it where I would normally contour, just because I didn't really have a lot of time to do tons of extra steps for this look. Then I'm going to go in with a dual fiber brush. This is the Mikasa Beauty F200. And I'm just going to kind of soften everything and make sure everything looks really well blended. I'm going to do some highlight. I'm using the Champagne Pop highlighter by Becca Cosmetics with the Mikasa Beauty F111, which is kind of like a blush brush, but I do like to use it for blush and highlight. I think it just works because of the shape of the brush, and you'll see more about these brushes coming up soon. So I'm just going to kind of highlight my typical spots around the face with that. I kind of went a little bit crazy. I tend to do that with highlighters, but you can tone it down. And then I'm using this really cute little lip balm. It's the peach one by Tony Moly, and I found it at Sephora when I was there recently, and I thought it was so freaking cute. Then I'm going in with Cabana Boy. This is a blush slash shadow by TheBalm, and I really love it because it has that bit of a berry tone, but it has a satiny finish, so it's not too shimmery and it's not completely flat and matte. And I'm also using the same Mikasa Beauty F111 brush to apply that. I've just kind of wiped it off so I don't get any sort of like residual highlight on my cheek area. Now going in with the eyes, busting out my Sonia Kashuk Eye on Neutral Matte Palette. I freaking love this thing. I cannot say enough good things about these matte shadows. They're really creamy and pigmented, but I'm using those lighter shades to first apply a thin layer as a base, and I'm using another Mikasa brush, if I can find it. It is the E300, and it's kind of like a crease brush, but it's really small, so it's perfect for crease work. And then I'm going to go in with the white shade from this palette as my brow highlight. And I'm going to be mixing, for my inner corner highlights, the white with a bit of that beige color, just so that it's not super frosted or anything, because I wanted to keep everything around that sort of duochrome pigment, a little bit more on the matte side, because that pigment is pretty shimmery. And you'll see that coming up here in a little bit. But I'm just applying that. It's my brow highlight. Next, I'm going in with the lightest tan shade in this palette, and I'm going to start applying that to my crease as a transition shade, and just kind of blending it again with that Mikasa Beauty brush. It's the, what is this? The E300. And I'm just going to kind of add that into the crease. You can go as dark or as light as you want, but again, I'm trying to keep it pretty simple and easy. I didn't want anything to be too fussy or too dramatic for that day. Go in with the mid-tone tan shade. It's a bit of like a darker tan in the palette, and I'm going to start deepening up the outer V, and I'm using the same brush, the E300 by Mikasa Beauty, just to keep it pretty simple. I don't want to have to reach for a lot of tools and kind of have all these, you know, fussy tools that I have to work with. So just keeping it really simple. This is an optional step. I did bring in one extra brush. This is the Morphe E22. It's like a synthetic dual fiber brush, just to kind of help soften everything, just because I wanted it to be a little bit more blown out and kind of soft. Then I'm going in with this Scandaleyes pencil. This is from Rimmel. It's the Scandaleyes eyeshadow stick in the shade Trespassing Taupe number 015. It says 24-hour waterproof, but, you know, I found that this kind of creased on me, which I didn't really prefer. I don't know if it's just because it was a matte one, if any of the other ones in the line work better, but I applied that first just onto the lid, and then with my fingers blending it out. And I didn't bring this up into the crease, so I wish that I would have skipped this step, because that would have prevented the creasing that I had towards the end of the night. Then I'm going in with the Makeup Geek Duochrome pigment. This is in Mood Ring, which is a really pretty soft kind of pinky purple. It looks gray, but it reflects like a pinky purple shade. And I'm using the Mikasa Beauty E230 brush to apply that to my lids right over that base from Rimmel. And that brush from Mikasa Beauty is very similar to the MAC 239. If you've got that, or if you want something similar, this would be a good alternative, because it is like a fraction of the cost. And I brought you guys a little closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. I felt like you guys were just a little too far, so bring it in, folks. So we are applying this all over the lid, and as you can see, it kind of has more of like a pinky vibe to it, but I'm picking up little hints of purple. It's really cool. They did send me replacements. If you watch my review video on this, my opinions still are the same. They did send me some replacements, so I have some jars that are not cracked, believe it or not. Then going back in with that sort of mid-tone tan shade with the Mikasa Beauty crease brush, and I'm just going to start adding a little bit more depth and dimension to the eye. I did this step, ignore my bopping and weaving around, because I was dancing. I decided to do this step after the pigment, just because I wanted to see how intense this was going to come along before adding too much darkness, because then at that point I would not be able to fix it. Then going in with the first tan shade and the pencil brush. This is the Mikasa Beauty E310 brush, and I'm going to start applying that very thick to the lower lash line, and then just basically layering the same brown shades or tan shades that I use in the crease onto the lower lash line. With the Morphe E22, I'm taking the light tan and a beige, and I'm going to mix the two and then use that to kind of soften and blend out those edges, just so that it doesn't look a little harsh. Again, keeping everything pretty soft. Now we're going to start deepening up the outer V, again using a much smaller brush. As you can see, the darker the color, the smaller brush, using that pencil brush and the darkest tan shade. And I'm going to just start kind of smoking it out and just keeping it really close to the lash line, not going up too much into the crease and not sort of like bringing it in like to the inner part of the eye, just keeping it right on the outer part. I did this was kind of like, I don't know, something that I did last minute. I wasn't intending to do this, but I do like the fact that I did it because I think the look came together much better than had I not done that step. So you can do it or you can skip it. It's whatever you want. Then I'm using the Maybelline Master Precise Liquid Liner. Yes, more bopping and weaving. I'm dancing, jamming out. What can I say? I like to dance. Anyways, I'm applying this liquid liner. This one seems a little dry, so I don't know if it's because it's just been sitting on the shelf at Ulta too long, but I think I'm going to exchange it for another one to see. But this is the one that I was talking about in my latest eyeliner video that I posted on Friday, which will be linked down below for you. Give you all my tips on how I do my liquid liner and my cat eye, so I'm going to kind of skip all over this. I'm going to use a setting spray. It's the one from Ulta. It's the Ulta makeup brand. I wanted to try this because Max Shadow Combos on here on YouTube says she liked it, so I gave it a try. And as you can see, I was not expecting I was not expecting the spray to come out the way it did. It just it caught me completely off guard. I thought it was going to be like a soft, fine I'm sorry, this is cracking me up here. I was expecting like a fine mist, but I don't know if it's because it's the mini size, but it just was like all over the place, and I had like blobs of wet spots over my face. So as you can see, I'm going to use my dual fiber brush from my Casa Beauty to kind of blend that out because I felt like I just got rained on, and that was not cool. Time for some mascara. I'm glad I did the spray before the mascara because I would have been in a hot mess. I'm using the CoverGirl Supersizer as always for my lower lash line. I think this is a really good lower lash line mascara. I don't have any issues with it transferring or flaking on me. And then for the upper lashes, I'm using a new mascara to me. This is the NYX. It's called Badunkadunk. That's crazy and weird, but whatever. The brush is pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. It's bigger than the Rocket Volume that I love from Maybelline. This brush is pretty huge, and honestly, I'm not really digging this mascara. So I'm just gonna kind of fast forward through all of this because I don't really like it at all. If you see this in your local Ulta, just kind of skip right on past it because it's not even a good one. Next for the lips, I'm taking this Wet n Wild. It's the Fergie Daily. It's like a nude. Applying that to the lips. Skip the lip liner and all that. Again, keeping it super easy. And then I'm going to go over it with a gloss. This is one from Maybelline. It's the Baby Lips. And that is the completed look. I hope that you guys liked it. This is the up close shot of the eyes. As you can see, soft, blended, super easy. Got a little bit of a wing going on. Really, really enjoying it. For the look, I just have a side ponytail, just a sleek ponytail because I didn't have time to do anything. And then I have this little sweater that I got from JCPenney's. Got some rhinestones and some pearls. Super, super cute. And I'm out, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.